Boys and girls, I am Dr.Md.Athar, PGT English, KV AFS Darbhanga number 1. Today we are going to talk about the poem A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. John Keats was a romantic poet. This poem is an extract taken from Endymion. This is based on the Greek myth of Endymion, the shepherd who falls in love with the moon goddess, Cynthia. This extract, A Thing of Beauty, talks of how beautiful things give us pleasure and alleviate sufferings and sorrow. This epic poem, Endymion, begins famously with the line, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." Let's recite the poem in a manner in which it should be recited. I am trying it. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower coiled for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams, and health, and quiet breathing. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth. Spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways, made for our searching, yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits. Such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon for simple sheep, and such are daffodils with the green world they live in, and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make against the hot season. The mild forest brake, rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms, and such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead. All lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heavens brink. Let's have the summary of the poem. How can we summarize it in our own way? There could be many ways of summarizing the poem. This is one of the ways in which I am trying to summarize it. This poem presents the reader with the views of Keats on beauty and its value and its importance to humans. Beauty, in whatever form it may be found, is an eternal joy to humans because it offers humans the constant opportunity to reflect on that beauty, which stands in such stark contrast to the dejection, monotony, and ugliness of our everyday lives. In spite of all the difficulties and the sufferings that humans face, beauty has the ability to produce happiness and temporarily shift the burdens that humans bear. Let's have some beautiful objects which create serenity in our mind. This is what natural beauty is to our senses. Once again, see the clouds and the greens and the backdrop. See the flowers giving our senses a kind of joy. See this beautiful scene. What happens to us when we see it? It really enthralls us. The peacock, the symbol of beauty itself, when it dances, it makes us joyous. So, boys and girls, You have seen certain examples of beauty in the pictures wherein you can see how beautiful things create effect on our mind and heart. Keats therefore establishes that in his view of the world, life for humans consists of unremitting struggles and difficulties, and it is only beauty in its various guises that is able to shift those trials and at least temporarily produce happiness. The poem concludes with a list of things that constitute beauty for Keats, which include both physical objects, which are examples of natural beauty, such as daffodils, and also beauty that can be found in art, such as the lovely tales we have heard or read. All of these forms of beauty act as an endless fountain of immortal drink, allowing humans to forget bleak reality and experience joy. This poem, therefore, focuses on the theme of happiness and how it can be experienced. It inspires us and gives us the courage to fight against all odds. The poet, through poetic devices, has made the poem very rich and meaningful. Metaphor like bower quoit, wreathing a flowery band, endless fountain of immortal drink, noble natures, band to bind, alliteration such as noble natures, band to bind, imagery such as flowery bands, daffodils in given world, cooling cupboards, endless fountain of immortal drink, symbol such as sheep, which is the symbol of innocence. This also refers to Jesus Christ. Transferred epithet such as gloomy day. Now let's have the thematic interpretation stanza wise. The first stanza: a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Anything that is beautiful provides us an unending, everlasting, and eternal joy. It leaves an indelible imprint on our heart and soul. We love to relive the memories of that joyous experience whenever it flashes back in our mind. The joy that we experience on seeing a beautiful object multiplies whenever we remember it. Similarly, the loveliness of anything beautiful multiplies each time we visualize in our thoughts. Compared to this, things which do not give us happiness only remain for a short while and then disappear forever. Now, the second stanza on thematic interpretation. Therefore, on every morrow, we reading a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence, of inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and overdarkened ways made for our searching. Keats feels that every morning we weave a beautiful string of flowers or memories which help us support ourselves and motivates us to live our life to the fullest instead of burdening our lives with pain and suffering. There are few people who are noble in character and rise above the petty differences by being generous. The poet is in pain to see the dearth of noble people and flourish of selfish and self centered people. Such people adopt wrongful means for achieving their goals. Let's have the third stanza thematically. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits, such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon for simple sheep, and such are daffodils with the green world they live in, and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make gainst the hot season. The mid forest brake, rich with sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms, and such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead. The poet in this stanza appreciates the simplicity and serenity of beauty through the image of the sun, the moon, the trees, the sheep, the daffodils, the green pastures, the streams, and blooming musk roses. The trees bear the heat of the sun to give shade and coolness to anyone who seeks shade and rest under their branches. Its greatness is a degree greater because it gives shade not only to the mighty ones but also to the simplest of the animals, such as sheep. Sheep and lamb are envisioned as symbols of innocence and serene beauty. Keats has made a special reference to the sheep as symbols of divine beauty. Beauty of nature is at its best in the lush green surroundings of meadows and pastures, which provides support to all plants and animals. It is in the green world that all living creatures find true happiness and joy. Dear students, let's have the last concluding lines of the poem. All lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heavens' brink. Beauty, according to Keats, is a perennial source of motivational inspiration. He considers it an endless fountain from which mankind can drink the elixir of life. Keats believes that beauty has been showered upon us from the heaven by God as the greatest gift to humans. Of course, he has taken the help of poetic devices to express his strong feelings. The lovely tales may be the sacrifices of martyrs on various platforms made by the mighty dead. We hope that the poem and its meaning is clear to you all. But since this is a romantic piece of extract, there cannot be any final explanation and final word regarding explanation. You can now reflect on it and may interpret the poem differently from your own perspective. That's all.